Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about negative exponents and also something to the 0 power. So in this first example here we have 2 to the negative third power. Now 2 to the negative third does not make the 2 negative, it's going to turn 2 into a fraction of 1/2. So, and the reason is if we think about 2 to the first power versus 2 squared versus 2 cubed, the exponents are getting bigger, and so is the standard number, 2 versus 4 versus 8. The same is kind of true for negative exponents. If I think about 2 to the negative first versus 2 to the negative 2 versus 2 to the negative 3, it's going to be 1/2 versus 1/4 versus 1/8. The numbers are getting smaller. The exponents are also getting smaller. Negative numbers, they get farther away from 0, they get smaller. So 2 to the negative third is essentially 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2, or 1/8. Number 2 here, negative 3 to the negative fourth power. Well, that is, if I switch that whole number of 3, or the integer rather of negative 3, and make it a fraction of 1/3, negative 1/3, now I have a positive exponent. If I flip it to make it a fraction, if I take the reciprocal of negative 3, I can make the exponent positive. The negative 4 exponent is making our final number, smaller than 3. It's not making it negative, it's making it smaller. So negative 1/3 to the fourth power, well, a negative to an even exponent is going to be positive, so our final answer would be positive 1/3 to the fourth power. And that's the same thing as 1/3 to the fourth power. 3 to the fourth power is 81, so our final answer is 1/81. 4 to the 0 power is essentially 4 to the something. Let's say 4 to the first power divided by 4 to the first power. By our division rule, our quotient rule, this would be the same as 4 to the 0, 1 minus 1, which is just 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. So anything to the 0 power is essentially itself divided by itself, which is just 1. Number 5 here, we have negative 2 times x to the negative first times y to the third power. Well, our base of negative 2, there's no exponent, or it's an exponent of 1, so I'm going to keep it at negative 2. X to the negative first power, I'm going to take the reciprocal of x, which is 1/x, so x is going to go in the denominator, and y cubed is going to stay on the top. And this is our answer because now there's no like bases to combine. Number 6, 3 is just to the first power. There's no negative exponent, there's no 0 exponent, so I'm going to keep 3 as is in the numerator. X to the 0 power is just 1, so I don't really need to multiply it by it. And y to the negative fourth power, if I take the reciprocal and put y in the denominator, I can have y to a positive exponent, which is the most simplified version when you have a positive exponent. Number 7, we have 4x, all of that to the first power. This is essentially like 4x divided by 4x. 4 to the first divided by 4 to the first would be 4 to the 0. X to the first divided by x to the first would be x to the 0. Anything divided by itself is just 1. Number 8, we have negative x to the positive second exponent and y to the negative squared. So negative x squared is actually going to stay in the numerator, stay where it is. X has a positive exponent. Y has a negative exponent. If I put that in the denominator, that 2 can become positive. And so this is our simplified answer. Number 9, x to the negative 2. I want to take the reciprocal of that, so I'm going to put x in the denominator, x squared, Y cubed is positive, has a positive exponent, so I'm going to keep it in the numerator. Number 10, we have a bunch of stuff in parentheses, and it's all being raised to the 0 power, so this is just equal to 1. Number 11, we have negative 10. Got an integer. That'll stay in the numerator. X is being taken to the negative 10th power. So in order to simplify that, I want a positive exponent, so I'm going to put x in the denominator. Number 12, I'm going to deal with the numerator first. So x to the 0 is just 1. Y to the negative 2, if I take their reciprocal, if I put 1 in the denominator instead, I can put it to the positive second. Z to the third is positive, so it's going to stay on top. X to the negative 5th in the bottom, if I want to make that into a positive exponent, I'm going to flip it or take the reciprocal, so now x to the 5th will be on top. And finally, number 13 here, we have everything to the 0 power, so this just simplifies to 1. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want to see any other examples, or if you have any clarifying questions on any of the examples shown.